Well, for more on this, let's cross live now to our reporter, Sipha Mandle Goge. Sipha Mandle, tell me where you are and what's going on.
We're in Pietermaritzburg because we came here for yesterday's hearing when Judge Mnguni decided to reserve his judgment, and that has basically caused more confusion and chaos. It has made this situation more messier than it was before. So I've just spoken to someone very high up in terms of criminal justice system in South Africa. He tells me that currently there is no movement. That's where we are. So as we speak, we are all waiting to hear what will happen moving forward because, quote unquote, there is no movement for now. Police ministry is busy. They are waiting for an update or they are waiting for a guidance. Remember, they wrote that letter to the Chief Justice, Acting Chief Justice, seeking clarity to say, in the meantime, what do they do? Because they have a standing order by the Constitutional Court that should the former president not hand himself over after 5 calendar days, then police were given 3 days to execute and ensure that they basically take him up, send him to the nearest police station to be sent to the nearest correctional facility where he will be processed and admitted. As things stand, there is nothing setting aside that order. The police ministry or the police's deadline expires midnight today, and as things stand, there is nothing which says they cannot arrest the former president. Yesterday, Judge Mnguni of the Pietermaritzburg High Court decided to basically reserve his judgment. He will deliver it on Friday at 11:30 or 9:30 a.m. Some people are saying, well, that has made the situation worse because right now the police were hoping that at least 2 things were going to happen there. It's either that was going to be granted or dismissed by the Pietermaritzburg High Court. That is the former president's application to stay his arrest for now, pending his application to the Constitutional Court for that judgment to be rescinded. So now it seems as if police are caught in this quagmire. They don't know what to do, and they feel that this is unfair to them because there is no clarity. But others will argue that there is clarity according to the Constitutional Order. Their deadline expires midnight today, so they should execute the Constitutional Court order. So for now, it's more confusion and more chaos.
I suppose if they don't hear from the Constitutional Court, and there's a big chance that they won't because they wrote an unprecedented letter, that the police themselves would be in contempt of court for not following out that committal order that was signed for Jacob Zuma's arrest. Do you get the feeling, Sipha Mandle, when you're at eNCA that there's a big fear and reluctance by the police to not cause any kind of inflammatory action that would upset the crowd and cause unnecessary violence?
The first part of your question, they do concede that the letter that they wrote, is not a legal letter. It was just a letter seeking clarity. So they are adamant and they are aware that they may not get any direction, any clear directive as to what to do now because there is a standing order of the Constitutional Court giving them 3 days to effect the arrest should the former president not hand himself over. The former president's deadline expired on Sunday midnight. To be fair to him and his legal team, they did launch an application to the Constitutional Court seeking to rescind that judgment. The Constitutional Court has agreed to grant them audience, but on the 12th of July, which is next week, Monday, the Pietermaritzburg High Court decided to reserve its judgment to be delivered on Friday. So this chaos and confusion stems from the police are worried about what they call a second Marikana. They say no matter what happens, they do not want a second Marikana. Police's top brass are clear on that one. Even their strategy going to the former president's home when his supporters were outside, they were very, very reluctant to act, even though people were breaking the law by gathering illegally. That was a political gathering, but they applied extra caution because they do not want the situation to get out of hand, and they say they don't want bloodshed. They are preventing that. So they were treading very carefully, even now, in terms of how they are going to execute their strategy to arrest the former president come the deadline, if there is nothing suspending that court order, if there is no interdict saying for now the former president's arrest is stayed. they will have to go to Nkandla and pick him up. And I can tell you that within the police's circles and police's top brass, there is confusion and chaos as to how to implement the strategy. Our sources are telling us that it will have to be a team from the national office, a newly assembled team of National Intervention Unit, which will have to go to Nkandla and pick up the former president, because the local police will not have capacity to arrest the former president. It's not going to be an easy arrest to effect simply because of the status of the former president. So we wait for now.
Thank you so much, Siphamandla Goge. Hopefully, if it does come to this, Jacob Zuma will put the lives of others before, won't put the lives of others before his own, and will hand himself over quietly so as not to have some kind of SWAT team move in with helicopters and tear gas and weapons to effect an arrest. Let's hope that doesn't happen.